Hello, hello, and happy Facebook Live time, happy Thursday, and welcome to Treehouse TV with Melissa's Crafting Treehouse. My name is Melissa Kerman, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the US, and I am going to share some really fun things today. I've got some projects that are sneak peeks of the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle, the one for August. And I have a giveaway to announce. Let's see what else. Announcements of things going on, details about my upcoming technique classes, and like tons more. So thanks for being here. I see people joining in. Comment and say who you are, where you're from. Love to know who's watching. So let's see. So as I said, giveaway, project demonstrations, announcements, and please, 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 if you're watching live or on the replay, share this video out on social media, in wherever you feel so fit. Share it with friends. That really helps me keep doing what I'm doing. Hi Pam, so good to see you here. Yay, hi MJ. Excuse me. So just a little update on me. You guys may remember I was in Boston for about a week visiting my mom, and we had a great time. It was a wonderful week. The first 3 days or so was just the most amazing weather. I live in the South. It's really hot and humid here, so I kind of really hate the summers here. But there we had some 70-degree days, and it was dry, and oh my gosh, I couldn't be outside enough. And then the humidity and heat set in, so then I was inside some more. But it was still really lovely. Had a wonderful time with my mom. Oh yeah, MJ, you thought this was my day off. I know it's so confusing that I'm doing every other Thursday instead of every Thursday. But to be very honest with you, it's been really a wonderful thing. Kind of allowed me to breathe a little bit, take care of some other things, dedicate to Maker's Mojo and the technique classes and things of that sort that usually I'm just too dang busy to do. So anyway, here I am. Yes, this is my Thursday to be here. Hi Jan, good to see you. Hi Laura Lee, yay. So good to see people joining in. So you guys, last time I asked you to sort of help me egg on my mom to craft with me while I was there because she said she wasn't going to craft with me. Lots of you guys commented with the hashtag stamping@92 to tell me that you plan to stamp when you were 92. That you plan to still be stamping, shall I say, because I believe I will be. Hopefully I will be. And so I really appreciate you guys commenting and helping me egg my mom on to stamp with me. I did tell her about it. Hi Shelly, good to see you here. Hi Jean, yay. Now I do have to confess, I did not get her to stamp. And part of that was that I was trying to do so much during the week. I was visiting a few people, although I didn't do a lot of visiting, but I did have some family to see. I was trying to work, although I worked about half time. And then of course I was trying to spend time with my mom. My mom's a movie buff, so we watched several great movies, which was really fun. And we spent a lot of time just chatting, which was great. I hadn't seen my mom since pre-COVID, so it was wonderful to spend time with her. And I'm planning on going back, probably in another couple months. She just, needs the company. She's living alone at age 92. Crazy. So anyway, so that's just a little about what's going on with me. So I'm here, yay. And I have some fun projects. Again, I have a giveaway to announce, and I'm going to be sharing projects from the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle for August, which is featuring Sale-A-Bration. So let's talk about Sale-A-Bration for a minute. Okay, well, actually, let's talk about other things first. I got my list. I will get totally disorganized if I don't go by my list. So, okay, so the U.S. school supply sales tax holiday is still going on. There's just one state left with a sales tax holiday. That is Massachusetts, where I was. And that is August 14th and 15th, so this Saturday and Sunday. So keep that in mind if you live in Massachusetts. Let's see what else. The Maker's Mojo Creative Escape event, of course, was a couple weeks ago, but I wanted to give you a heads up. We have picked a date for the next event, so save the date. August 2nd. I'm sorry, what am I saying? That's past. October 2nd. Sounds a little the same, right? October. That is actually World Card Making Day, so it's going to be super fun. We are going to reconfigure things just a little bit for those of you that have participated to get you guys stamping some more by providing some information on the front end, because it's World Card Making Day. We have to get people stamping, right, with us, maybe a little bit, I hope. So we'll have a welcome event the evening before, Friday evening, October 1st, but October 2nd, back to back, tons of presentations, so much fun. So put it on your calendar, plan to register. I hope you will. We'll definitely have fall and Christmas type theme, holiday theme projects to share with you on that day. All right, what else? So the After the Live option is still available for the event we had on July 17th. That information is at the bottom of my blog post with a link, so you can go there and find that if you're interested. We had 9 written tutorials, 9 video tutorials. It was a ton of fun. Okay, moving right along, going down my list. Okay, so you guys know the July to December mini catalog is live. Yay! There were a few delayed products, but they're now available, so excited for that. The gingerbread and peppermint, the Memories and More card packs, and the envelopes and cards, those were not available. They are now. And then also the Blackberry Beauty Designer Series paper is available. Yay! I'm so glad that now everything's available. Yay! There was only one thing that I had that was on back order that I ordered, so but that's not too bad. All right, so moving along. So let's talk about celebration, right? The focus tonight is celebration. I'm going to show you all the celebration items that I have, probably ever so briefly, and I have all but one of them. So you'll be seeing all of those. And then, of course, I'm going to be demonstrating projects with 3 of the celebration free items. So if you're, I'm talking like Greek, you have no idea what celebration is, if you happen to be one of those people. Celebration is an opportunity for customers, hosts, people who purchase the starter kit, and demonstrators to get perks and benefits. So customers get a free item for every $50 they spend. There are level 1 items where you spend $50. There are also level 2 items where you have to spend $100 to get those. There's just a few of those. And then hosts, when you host a party, either your own single purchase of $300, not a small amount, or you gather friends and you host a party, there is a stamp set that you get for free. I'm going to show you that for right now, and this is going to be backwards. Maybe I'll put it on the screen later. This is in your words. I'll put it on the screen later because that's a lot of words and I don't want you to have to read them backwards. And then when you purchase this starter kit during celebration, which incidentally goes through the end of September, you get to pick a free bundle from among 12 that are in the new mini catalog. So super fun. If you haven't joined yet, please consider doing it, and I'd love to have you on my Treehouse Chicks team. Okay, moving right along. And just so you know, if any of you out there are demonstrators, I know some of you are, that demonstrators get perks as well, and in the form of product credits. So just if you don't know about that, definitely look into it because it's a great benefit of being a demonstrator. All right, a few more announcements and then we'll get to the project. So I have been a little bit behind, right? Like I said, while I was gone, I worked about half time, so I got a little bit behind on some things. And my technique classes, I have one coming up in August. The live online event is not until the end of August, but I send kits out, so I have to close the deadline by about mid-month. So the deadline to RSVP for the class in August is the faux patina class. Now, I'm sort of embarrassed to say, I'm going to look embarrassed here. I don't even have sneak peeks yet. I'm still working on that stuff, and I don't actually have subjects for the October and December classes. I know that may be a deterrent for you to sign up, and that's just kind of a bummer. But I can't seem to get ahead. I'm trying, Hopefully with the every other week Facebook Lives, that'll help me. But I'm just behind. What can I say? So with that in mind, I have created a technique class survey. And I want your feedback. I want to know what you're looking for as far as techniques you'd like me to teach, the subjects of classes, and some other details about technique classes. So some of you who receive my newsletter would have gotten that survey by email. I have had some people complete the survey already. And that's going to help me decide what classes are going to be in October and December. Because I don't want to just kind of pick them randomly. I'm kind of hoping this time around I can get some input from you guys. I think I included, I don't know, maybe 8 or so, maybe it was more, 10, I don't know, different techniques, and I had have you rate the degree to which you're interested in those. So anyway, check that out. There is going to be a link in the description of this video to that survey. So speaking of my technique classes, this is also a unique time because only twice a year I offer the opportunity to join a club, and in this case it'll be a 3-class club, so you'd be signing up for the August, October, and December classes all at the same time. Clubs are based on and require a product purchase, or you can sign up for a subscription at this time of year, and that is a fee-based way to take the classes. But you're signing up for all three at the same time, and there are perks and benefits to those that are, you know, more robust than if you take a single class. You get the benefit of the single class when you take the single class. When you sign up for 3 at a time, I give you some perks. So all those details are on my website, and I will have links in the description of this video as well. All right, so that brings me to, I told you there was going to be a giveaway opportunity that I was going to announce today. So here it is. So I really want people to fill out that survey by Sunday, August 15th. If you do, you'll get entered into a drawing to receive the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle that I'm showing sneak peeks from today. So there's 12 tutorials in that set of tutorials. Awesome set of projects. I had to print out several of them, and I'm only showing 2 tonight, but I had to show several of them because I have to make the rest of them, or at least the ones I printed anyway. So there's some really fun projects. I'm going to show you the products, so I'll point out which ones are featured mostly in the tutorial bundle. So I'm not going to give away just one tutorial bundle. I'm just telling you that. If you fill out the survey, I'm going to give one for every 4 people that fill out the survey, so your chances are really good of getting one. So, you know, 25%, you want to do the math? So please, please, please consider doing the survey. You can use the link in my newsletter. You can use the link I'm going to have in the description here. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll have a link in the video description for, in the YouTube description also. So watch for that, check that out. You have until Sunday the 15th to fill out the survey. The deadline to sign up for technique classes and to sign up for either a subscription or a club, whatever option you choose, is Monday the 16th. So don't delay. I just need that time so I can send kits out. I know this is really last minute, but do it, do it, do it. All right. Fill out the survey, sign up for classes. Yay. They're so much fun. People chime in. Those of you who take my classes, I know you're here. Some of you, many of you are here. Chime in. Tell people why they should take my technique classes and why they should trust me blindly, even though they don't know what they are. I know, I crack myself up. Some people do actually trust me, you know, even though they don't know ahead of time, which I do very much appreciate, very, very much. All right, so let's get to the project demonstration and to the Sale-A-Bration products. I'm going to face the camera down and we're going to get started. I always have so much to share and say, and I don't want to miss anything. So anyway, it takes me a little while to get to the demonstration, but here we are. Yay! Okay, thanks for commenting, Laura Lee. I see that you signed up, and yes, I will be sending you an email for sure to confirm and with the other details that you need. Okay. All right, looking down at my workspace, and one of the first things you see there is some of the Sale-A-Bration products, the Sale-A-Bration brochure. So let's just show you. I'm going to show you, start with a few things that I am not demonstrating tonight, but just had to show you. So check out this paper. Is it not gorgeous? You really can't tell in the catalog what it looks like, but it is just beautiful. It's the bedazzling 6x6 specialty paper. If you haven't gotten this, definitely do it. I'm pretty sure that the consumables and maybe even the stamp sets are while supplies last during Sale-A-Bration, so don't miss out. So there's that. And of course the brochure. The counting sheep is a $50 item, level 1 item, and the dies that go with it. There are a couple of projects in the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle for August that are including the sheep. They're adorable projects. There were some that I printed out. And then there's also this gorgeous paper, which is called, forgetting the name of it, Beautifully Penned. And it goes with the Pen and Painted suite that is in the annual catalog. So you got the sheep, Lynn. Good for you. And I'm so excited for you that it's coming tomorrow. You get to play. And here's the back sides of these papers. So there are actually 4 of each sheet. So you get the 3 different patterns, of course, and the 3 on the back. Beautiful paper. One of the projects that's in the tutorial bundle is made with this paper and the coordinating stamp set from the annual catalog. So that's really fun. Okay. moving right along. So the one stamp set that I played with today is this Delicate Dahlias set. This one is a level 2 set. And Melissa, you say you envy the time I can spend with my mom, and it was really precious to spend time with her, and definitely going to be going back. Got to savor every minute, right? Especially as our parents get older. So thanks for commenting, Melissa. All right, so this is one project that I have made. This was the Color Fusers Blog Hop project, my project. The color scheme was Gorgeous Gray Pine Heather, Just Jade, and the basic gray. So love that. It's vellum here. If you want the details of this, it's on my website, so you can go check that out. I've created a few other things with this stamp set. I'll be sharing those at some point in the future. Another one of the level 2 sets, or level 2 items that's a celebration item, are these, what are they called? Summer Shadows dies. They coordinate with the stamp set in the annual catalog. So this one right here, the Shaded Summer stamp set. So that's pretty fun. This is, again, a level 2 item, so you have to spend $100 to get that. Let's see what else I have here to show you. Okay, so a couple of things I'm going to be using today are this designer paper here, which I think I may have shown you before. This is just adorable paper. It's the Penguin Playmates, has a coordinating stamp set. There's even a penguin punch that goes with that set. And here are the back sides. Just giving you a quick little snippet of that. So I'm going to be using this on my project, and then there are several projects in the tutorial bundle that include those. And then this gorgeous paper, which I just love, very versatile and easy to use. The patterns are pretty neutral. This is the Peaceful Prince designer paper. Comes in 12 by 12. And I'm going to be using this pattern right here, which the back side is the deer right there. So this is the pattern I'm using in today's project. And the back side. Aren't these pretty? They're just such useful, wonderful patterns of designer series paper. And there is also a coordinating stamp set and punch that goes with this cute deer that's in the annual catalog. So that's that. Have I showed everything? Almost. Okay, so this, now you get to see it with the words facing the right way. This is the set you get if you host a party that is $300 in sales or more, so you automatically get this for free at that point. You do have to enter the item code. Now, I should say that Stampin' Up! Has improved the way that you select your celebration freebies. There is really no way that you can, by accident, forget to select them. Let's just say that. And that's a wonderful thing. So it'll ask you at the end of the process, and you'll have to actually click a button that says, no, I don't want anything free, like who would ever do that, in order to miss it. So now the one stamp set I didn't show you that I'm going to be using today is this one right here, Feels Like Christmas. Now I really like this, but my gut tells me that it might not be the most popular one. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like this set? I loved this project that I'm going to be making here. It was created by Debbie Duchesne, one of our design team members. And I'm also going to be using the rectangle stitched framelits for this project. The biggest size piece right here, or die I should say. So those are the main products I'm using. And I've used my Versamark, my embossing buddy, my black embossing powder, and a whole bunch of Blends alcohol markers. So fun, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and put some of this aside. And let's see. Okay, so I started by die cutting a piece of white cardstock, and maybe I'll show you the project. Well, no, I haven't finished the project, so I can't actually show you. I got it mostly done, but I can't show you the finished project because it's not done yet. So I made some minor little tweaks to this, but I've taken one of the smaller dies in the rectangle stitch dies, and I've die cut it. So you can see I've gotten a little bit of a head start. I actually went ahead and heat embossed it, stamped it Versamark and heat embossed it with black. Makes the image really bold. It does kind of blur the lines of some of these finer details, though, I will tell you that. So I stamped on a separate piece of cardstock in Memento Black, which you could also use. So you can see the black here is much bolder. The lines are a little bit thicker than this one, which captures sort of more of the subtle details. So if you want more of a subtle look, use the Memento Black ink, the Tuxedo Black right here, because that's this one, or you can heat emboss and do this one. Now, just because coloring takes a very long time oftentimes, I did get a head start on this. So I'm going to tell you what I did to begin with, and then I'll do some of the coloring as well. So to start with, I used my light Crumb Cake Blends Alcohol marker for the background bricks and the ground and in behind the tree. And then I used my light Smoky Slate Blends Alcohol marker for the frame around the door and then the glass in the door. So we're going to start with that, and I'm going to do some shading to begin with on my bricks. So now I have my dark Crumb Cake, and I'm going to just do some shading and highlighting on my bricks in a few places. And I think it actually adds a lot of interest to do that. And I'm not being too particular about it, just in a few particular places where the lines of the brick are. So pretty much that's it. And then I'll take my light Blends Alcohol marker, the Crumb Cake, and I'm just going to blur those lines just a little bit. Just so that it's not such a hard line. I am not looking at comments, but I would love to know. You know what? Actually, I can bring the camera down. Yes, I can. Thank you for asking, Betty. I know it's so far away, right? Because it's such a small image. Okay, this might be a little bit rocky, so you might want to look away for a second. Let's see if I can do this. That's as close as I can get, because on Facebook it doesn't allow you to zoom. But I'll bring it up to the camera every once in a while. How about that? So you can see now that I've got some blending, a little bit of dark at the bottom of the corners of some of the bricks, and just to give it a little bit of shadow. So there you go for that. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my my dark gray. So I've got my light Smoky Slate, my dark Smoky Slate. So I'm going to come in and do just a little bit of shading on, hold on just a sec. A few spots just to give it some variation. So I'm going to go into the corner along that bottom line and there. Okay, so there's a close-up view. Try to remember to bring it up every once in a while. And then I'm going to come in with my light Smoky Slate. Now let's do the before. And then I'll do it and then bring it up again. So this is the light shade again. And it looks darker just because I'm putting it over the top of the first layer of the light. And I'm using some circular motions to get some of that blending happening. Do the same thing in here. So now we'll bring it up. You can see it. And then I'm going to take my color lifter and using the nubby end. I'm using the nubby end for pretty much all this because it just has, I have more control and they're small spaces, right? So I'm going to use those circular motions again where the two colors meet and just kind of blend it a little bit to soften. So that's what I got so far. I am going to actually do the bottom. I forgot to do my little well, whatever that would be, a welcome mat. I did my other version that I played with on this a little bit different because I was thinking the welcome mat would be brown, but it somehow didn't look right. So this one I'm going to do gray. So there's what I got so far. Now I'm going to make my, let's see, I'll leave this here in case I want that again. Next I'm going to take my light soft suede and just add a few little kind of dark accents on my sidewalk. I'm going to color dark along the edge a little, and then some lines. You can see I'm being pretty kind of haphazard about it. I'm not being too particular about it. I just want to create some variation in the color. And then I'll come back in with my crumb cake again. Most use color on this and just do a little bit more blending. So that's the light crumb cake and the light soft suede that I used on the ground. All right, next I've got my dark Cajun Craze, and this is going to be for my terracotta pots. And I'm not going to try to do any blending on here because it's such a small spot. And I thought that the dark looked more terracotta-like than the light, because I tried the light first. All right, going down the line here. Next I'm going to use some real red for my bicycle, because I kind of want it to sort of stand out a little bit and sort of look playful. So I'm just going to do this, and this is a little bit hard from far away. Hard to see from far away for you guys and for me. So let's see if I can do it. That's where this fine tip really comes in handy. Let's see how much I can get that without going out of the lines. Dang, that was quite far out of the line. Oh well, what can you do? Okay, let's see. Anywhere else I need to do the red? I guess that's about it. So playful red bicycle. Now I'm going to bring my gray back in because I want my tires to be gray. This is hard to do from far away. So there's what I got so far. Let's see if we got a nice light on there. Now you can see I got a bunch of that red, like it doesn't belong there, man. So I'm going to use my color lifter, which we'll see if I can get it to come up. The color lifter can actually remove some of the black from heat embossed shape, so I can't really go right over it. But it'll at least blur it a little bit so that the red is not so obviously outside of the line. Let's see if I can get in there and get just the tiniest bit where it's supposed to go. All right, we got our red taken care of. Okay, so next I'm going to use my light shaded spruce, and that's going to be for the plants that are in this basket. So the funny thing about it, it's hard to really tell the detail of what it is. It kind of looks like a basket of vegetables or something if you're looking at it. So that's kind of what I went with. I'm going to use crumb cake for this basket and for this one up top. Now I got a bunch of coloring to do for the door and the plant right here, but I don't know that you need to see me do that. Now I will do one thing on this, that I'm going to use the light old olive, and when I did the tree, because it's heat embossed and it kind of closes in the shape a little bit, it's not really like you're coloring in the openings. It's almost like you're coloring a little bit around the outside. So I'm going to just do a little bit of it so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So I'm going over the whole thing and then like at the top, I kind of like to go outside the lines a little so you can see a little bit more of the green. So I'm going to do all that all over eventually. And let's do a little bit of the door so you can see what I did there. So for the door, I did the light Misty Moonlight blends for the sort of most of the door. Let's just do this part. I didn't do any shading on it. You know, it didn't show up. And then I used the dark for the inside, these 3 individual little accent panels. And for the line on the outside of the door, just to kind of give it a dark edge. So I did that all around. And that is pretty much all the colors, although I do have gray on the seat. I made the seat gray and the petals gray. Lots of details in this image. Okay, so I'm going to put this all aside. I'm going to save the rest of that coloring for later. And I'm going to show you my finished one, and we'll put the card together. So I've got a piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock. It's 4 1/4 by 11. You know, scored at 5 1/2. And then this is that designer series paper, the, what is it called again? I just said it, but I can't remember it. It's called Peaceful Prints. I knew it had a peaceful in there somewhere. And that's just going to get attached to the front. And I have one that's done. And then I've got a piece of Misty Moonlight that's going to be the backing to my focal piece. I've taken a piece of crumb cake cardstock and heat embossed a sentiment on there. And I love this sentiment. Isn't that just lovely? Your friendship feels like home to me. It's so nice, and it goes so well with this bigger image as well. So I've got this piece. I'm going to attach my colored focal piece, which I've lost the one that I was coloring, but to my Misty Moonlight piece. And I'm going to put dimensionals on the back side. Ta-da! Pretend that's done. This is my finished version because I did all the coloring in there. As you can see, my little stoop is the crumb cake instead of gray. And then I've got dimensionals on the back side. Now I've attached my stitched rectangle shaped piece to the far right edge. And I've only got edges on the top, bottom, and the left because it's going to get justified far to the right on here. You see that you have some blue along the side of the card anyway, so it kind of allows you to have the frame, and it gives me a little bit more space to play with left to right because I'm going to be putting a sentiment right over there. So here's the close-up of where I am now. Is that not gorgeous? I mean, that image is just so pretty. I didn't see the comments. You guys think this is going to be a popular set or not? Do you guys love it? Tell me what you think. I want to hear your thoughts. I partly wanted to demonstrate this because I think it really needs to be showcased. All right, so I'm going to take a little piece of my ribbon. This is part of a trio of ribbons, of which the name I can't remember. But I think there's some Just Jade ribbon, some white, and then this in the combination pack. This is Misty Moonlight. It's got a filament of silver in there. Now I've got 2 pieces overlapped, so it's actually 1 piece folded in half. Oh, so you like the set? You love it? Oh, wonderful, Betsy. Thank you for, or Betty. Thank you for telling me. Okay, so now I'm going to make my 2 little ears. This is how I make my little air bows, as I like to call it. And one over the top, one over the other, and then I'm just pushing that one loop through, and then I'm just gonna carefully tie my little bow. So I've basically got double the thickness of ribbon because it's a thin, delicate ribbon, and I wanted it to be a little bit more substantial. Now, on Debbie's original project, she had it tied around the this designer paper piece, and to be very honest with you, I didn't have enough ribbon to do that on 2 cards. One I'm showing you, the one I am partially finished. So I'm going about it a little bit differently by just making a little bow, and I'm going to be just attaching that. So I'm going to snip off my ends, and I've got my finished adorable little bow. I can make that as big or as little as I want. I make that just a tiny bit smaller. Okay, sentiment, and I'm going to attach it so that it straddles my focal piece with this designer paper piece, but I want this to be double height. So on the back side, on the left I have 2 dimensionals stacked one on top of the other, and on the right I have just one, because I've already got one height's worth of dimensionals behind my focal piece. So this is going to go right around in here. I'm going to just kind of tuck that in, and I'm going to just lay it down for now, not exactly attach it. I do need to make sure that the double height dimensional is on this part. And then I've got a glue dot on the back of my bow, and that's going to go, where do I want to put it? Like I said, it's a little different from how Debbie laid it out, so I have to figure out my own way. I think I'll just do it like that. And the glue dot is actually it's gonna get attached to the edge of the Misty Moonlight backing. And there's my finished card. So there you go. I hope you guys like that. Yeah, so obviously it's so much prettier colored than black and white. So there's the one that is with the Memento ink. So the black is not nearly as brilliant. And I really like it with the strong black. Now, and here is the one that's partially colored. So you can see the two, pretty much the same, except for I did the stoop in the crumb cake on this one and in gray on that one. So there you go. There's my project, or Debbie's project, or my variation. All right, so I got one more project to show you. And this one, I'm going to just, I have to tell you, I have to be totally honest with you, right? Okay, let's see. Like I wouldn't be honest with you. Let's see, what did I want to show you? Oh, yes. Okay, so my project, I'm going to show you the finished project, and then we'll go ahead and show you all the details. So this is an adaptation of something that's in the Sale-A-Bration catalog, or the brochure. So there is my adorable little project. Does that look at all familiar to you guys? I'm going to show you what I cased and how I changed it. So this is my project, and what's in here in the Sale-A-Bration brochure, let's see if I can find it. This paper is just so cute. This card is what sold me on this paper. Is that not adorable, right? So you can see I took exactly the same little animals, cut them out of the designer series paper, and of course they've used a sentiment that is probably from the Coordinating Penguin set. I didn't have that, so I used my own, but mine is also on, it's a belly band for a mini paper pumpkin box. So that's one of the main differences, and I dry embossed this back piece as well. So it slips off like that. So I'm going to show you how I put this together, but this is just to say I case too, guys. I always tweak a little bit and make it my own, but by doing it on the paper pumpkin box and, you know, the dry embossing, etc. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how I did this. So here is my template for my belly band. I always like to make a template. That way, if I ever want to do the same thing again, I've got all my dimensions figured out. Now, the first thing I did was I measured my paper pumpkin box, and I have my little Post-it note here. You see, it says, the paper pumpkin box, the width is 3 3/4, this portion here. Let's do it this way since it's shown that way. The sides of the box itself are 1 inch. So I did my scoring to give me 1 1/8 inch instead of 1, to give me a little bit of latitude so it could slide on and off. And then I did this at 3 7/8 instead of 3 3/4, again, so that it wasn't so tight that I wasn't able to pull it off. So I figured out my dimensions with that method in mind. So you can see my middle section here, my 1/8, my 1/8, and then whatever was remaining of this 11-inch long piece, I just divided it in two. It didn't divide evenly, so one side's 2 3/8 and one is 2 1/2. So that's how I figured this out. So super easy to do. And when I calculated, I added these 3 dimensions together, and then, like I said, I divided it to figure out what the side panels would be. So, and then the height is 5.5 inches. So that's how you do it if it wasn't obvious already. So I've got here my pre-scored piece. And I'm going to start by dry embossing my flap. So here are my pieces. And I'm going to dry emboss the panel that is 2.5 inches long. Or is it the larger one? Yeah, 2.5, because the 2.5 inch side is a little bit wider than the other one, which is 2 3/8. Okay, so here we go. I got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and it's wide enough so that I can put it in and have just this panel be dry embossed. Copy and selectively edit. There you go. So here is my embossing folder that I'm using, the Wintry 3D. Now this comes in a pair, so the one that goes with it is pine boughs, also really pretty. If you were a part of the Maker's Mojo event, I used the pine boughs in one of the projects for that. I'm going to take some water and I'm just going to spray this panel lightly. It helps to give a better impression in the paper. I'm going to do it off camera, but you guys can hear me do it so that I don't get it on my workspace. So I'm going to go ahead and fold along that edge so I know how much space I'm working with. And then I'm just going to put it into my embossing folder. Now I'm going to actually do it so that the crease is slightly in. So I'm actually overlapping the crease a little bit to make sure that I get that whole panel, because I don't want part of it not done. That should be just right, just like that. And this is a 3D embossing folder, so I'm using my blue plate. If you don't have the blue plate, you can use one of the regular cutting plates and figure out a shim to make it a little bit thicker. And then I'm just running it through. So there's that embossing folder, there's my edge, and it went slightly over the edge, just exactly where it needed to be. So there we go. Now I want the, I did the shapes on mine so they were debossed, so that it would be more subtle. This is the embossed side. The shapes are pushed out. So I'm just going to simply turn my paper over and make that the outside instead you like. That makes you happy. Okay, so then I'm just going to fold and burnish along my edges. And when I say burnish, I mean take my bone folder or some other tool and crease it up really nicely. And the two flaps are going to overlap. So let's do this. I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm just going to slip it inside before I attach this. And I need some tear and tape. I'm going to grab some tear and tape now. To seal it, I can do it flat like this. And so that I know that none of the adhesive is going to stick out, I'm going to put some tear and tape on this inside edge. That'll be hidden. And then I'm going to put it on the far edge of the dry embossed flap. I love these snowflakes. They're so, of this dry embossing folder, they're just really pretty and subtle. Now, because I've done my scoring so that it's not too tight with my 1/8 inches and my 3 7/8 inches, I should just be able to seal this shut and have it be loose enough so that it's not difficult to slide on and off. Now I'm just going to push that up so that it's not, so it's a little bit, maybe a tiny bit less snug when I slip it on. All right, so now I've got my crinkled seam binding. I want to make sure it's flat in the inside, which it's not. If you look in there, it was not flat, but now it is. And it's going to actually it's not going to go there. I'm not ready for that yet. Let's do something else first. Okay, so I got my designer series paper. That's actually going on first, and it's going to cover where the two pieces overlap. So I'm just going to grab some multi-purpose liquid glue. You can see a little bit of the cute backside. And it doesn't really matter what adhesive you use for this. It's going to straddle that top, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to leave a tiny little bit of my fresh freesia at the bottom. That's what this color is. It's one of the in colors. So maybe about 1/8 of an inch at the bottom. You could see it there when it's folded. That's what I got there. Now I'm going to put a glue dot and get my spacing. So my ribbon is going to straddle where the designer paper meets the fresh freesia at the top. So let's get this so that it's half. Now I intentionally planned this ribbon to hang off the side because I wanted to be able to really easily pull off the belly band. And that way it gives me a bit of a handle, which I thought was, frankly, kind of a little bit ingenious, if I might say so myself. So here we go. So it's about halfway. Just going to lay it down there. And lay it right over the top. So I'm going to lay it where the glue dot was. That's going to hold it in place. Just like that and like that. I could put another one on the inside if I wanted to. And I think I will. I think I'll do it on the underside. That way that ribbon won't move. So glue dot. And it's just going to go in right on the inside, on the underside where the other ribbon is. So I'm just going to attach that. So there we go. So now this can slide on and off. Let's test it on here. So I've got this one. Just going to slide it off. And once we have this done, we got the mechanics all taken care of so that it slides right in. So nifty. And that way you don't have to have something tied around that. Here, I'll leave it on here because I can assemble it more easily that way. So you can see the pretty dry embossed pattern. And then I'm going to just tie a knot over here. This ribbon is really so easy to work with. It's very supple. And it's just going to hang off the edge. You can snip that off to the extent that you want to. Alrighty, now my sentiment piece comes from the Holly Jolly Wishes set. This is in the mini catalog as well. And I have heat embossed my sentiment already. And I've used this label die from the painted labels set to die cut it. Now, again, this is different from what was used in the sample in the brochure because I didn't have what they had. So these are just some of the shapes, right? So I've already fussy cut this one and this one from the designer paper, and this one I'm almost done with. So let's just finish that up. Isn't that fox just adorable? I think he or she is adorable. And this is a pretty easy cut. I'm just going to go along the curve. And I'm moving the paper, not the scissors, to get that even cut. Very important to have good light doing this. And there's even some really cute images in there, like this little tree, which I couldn't bear to throw away, so I'm probably going to cut that out and do something with it because it's just too cute. All right, so now I'm going to use a glue dot and attach my polar bear to my penguin. Actually, I'm going to do the reverse. I'm going to attach my penguin to my polar bear. So I want the glue dot to be on the front side of my polar bear's foot. And they're going to overlap just a little bit. And then I got dimensionals for the back side. Okay, now my fox is going to go on the front. The fox is going to be one layer thick on top of my my penguin and my polar bear, and then 2 layers thick at the bottom. So let's go ahead and attach this. I'm off screen. So that my little fox is right here down at the bottom. So attach with a dimensional, and then I'm going to go ahead and put another one down here. And to make it double height, or the same height as the top layer, I need to put a second dimensional on top. So there's my assembled element. So I used double layers of glue dots to attach this, and then I went ahead and attached this to the side, and then all I did after that was I attached some of the, what are those called? I know what they're called. Hold on. Where did I put it? The names of things make me a little bit crazy. There's so many names. So the subtle shimmer sequins. This is part of the Whimsy and Wonder suite, I think, these sequins. So, and then I just put them on with some multi-purpose liquid glue. I dabbed a little dot of liquid glue and placed them out so strategically so they would look kind of snowy and pretty. So there's my finished. This one will get finished later. So there you go. There's my 2 projects. I'll go ahead and put this one in so you can see them. And I love how it slides in and out so easily. And there you go. I hope you guys like these 2 fun projects. Like I said, I'm going to give away one of the Simple Sweet Stamper tutorial bundles for the Sale-A-Bration bundle from this month for every 4 people that fill out the survey. So again, I will have a link to the survey in the video description of the Facebook Live, and also on the YouTube description as well. So definitely look for that. Let me know what your thoughts are about my technique classes, not just the class topics, but there's some other questions there too. I just want to know what you guys want, what you guys don't want, so that I can, you know, provide more and better service and opportunities to you guys. So let's go ahead and turn the camera around. The other thing to remember is that the technique class registration deadline for my August class, which is the faux patina technique, is August 16th. It's the same deadline to sign up for my subscription program for the 3 classes in the second half of the year, the August, October, and December classes, and for the 3-class club. So I know I have lots of choices. I aim to please. I want to do something that fits your needs. The clubs require a product purchase, and I know a lot of demonstrators don't want to do that, so I offer the subscription so people can do a pay a fee for service kind of option, and then you can sign up for, you know, the 3 by either method, or sign up for 1 individual class. So, all right. So again, the 16th is the deadline for that. I'll have links to those resources in the video description as well, so you can look up the option that might be of interest to you. So let's see what else. Okay, so my next Facebook Live will be on August 26th, so that's 2 weeks from today, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the blog post for these 2 projects that you saw here today will be up on Saturday by 7 p.m. and that's when it posts on YouTube as well, so watch for that there. There will not be dimensions because, as I always say with this, these are the tutorial bundles, exclusive content, so I don't share that as a courtesy to those who are getting that exclusive content. So what else can I tell you? What else do I need to say or remind you? So definitely do the survey. I hope you are having fun shopping in the new mini catalog and getting your own freebies. I'd love to hear what your favorites are. I know I didn't ask that until now, but I showed you almost all of the free celebration items in today's video, so you at least have some information about them. So let me know what your favorites are, and I'll be watching for those little notifications that people filled out the survey. So yay. Alrighty, I can't think of anything else. I'll probably think of something else to say after the live, but I hope you guys enjoyed tonight, enjoyed the projects, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. So happy summer, and we'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, everybody.